The maps for these walking trails aren't really the best, and I got a little bit turned around. Instead of about a 1 mile, 1.5 mile walk, I ended up with about a 5 mile walk.
Job there was a chauffeur, so I did pick up a lot of famous rich people like Martha Stewart, Condoleezza Rice, Russell Wilson, Billy Joel, Sheryl Crow, Buzz Aldrin, Harvey Weinstein. But got tired of driving in that traffic.
The course of the QUINAULT River is 66 miles, so 33 miles from here up in the heart of the mountains are the headwaters of the QUINAULT, flows down here to the lake and then exits at the far end and goes another 33 miles to the coast.
So here's an example of a tree gnome that inhabits the Olympic forests. As you can see, this man has eaten a lot of mushrooms.
Original homesteaders, Barb Olson here is, I think, the granddaughter of the original homesteading family. Mr. Olson came out here in 1895. He had 2 children from his first wife and his second wife. He had 13 children, so they had 15 kids. They got a lot of work done.
It's the Merriman waterfall right here, folks. This is one that you'd probably miss visiting Lake Quinault unless you took the tour.
Take these timbers here and pile drive them into the ground, into the gravel there about 30 feet. Take a log there and cable it at the bottom, laying across it, and pile up the debris and the gravel, diverting the water down into these side channels. Here's a good vista of the valley here, and you can see how the river branches and forks and creates islands, gravel bars.
So here, friends, we have Bunch Falls. The waterfall may be 60 feet high, and it's named after a homesteading family, the Bunch family, from this area. What do you think? You like it? I like waterfalls. This one's pretty.
Now they tell me there's some good fishing right here. The fishermen say that's a good spot here. You can catch the Dolly Varden, rainbow, or cutthroat trout, as well as salmon. Of course, here in the national park, it's catch and release.
Look at that moss. We're walking up to one of the original homestead sites. The report was last week that there was a bear seen out in the orchard right here.
I think this must have been the farm, but as you can see, they
Excuse me.
later turned it into living quarters. Looks like some 40s wallpaper back there.
Wow. Walk in here and you can smell the cedar.
I gotta get some more information on this place. It's hard to find any.
Can you imagine the amount of work to clear this to where it would be like this?
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
Close for the season, which was been 2 years. It's a long season.
Long season. Ranger station now closed. I thought conchs are what you blow in Hawaii and they make a
No,
sound.
that's a conch.
Oh.
Now, all mushrooms are edible. We just don't know what's going to happen in the summer.
Here we are, friends, at a beautiful little pond in the middle of the rainforest.
And those are called licorice ferns. Again, well, you can eat the roots of those ferns and they can...
Here is an American bald eagle. Gigantic trees blown down by wind.
Earlier this year we saw some young ones up in there, and occasionally they'd fly in and out, but no real activity in the last few weeks. So.
Well, here's my buddy Paul.
Yeah.
We've known each other years and years and years.
Yeah.
Used to drive limousines together, and now he's driving the tour van up here, kind of semi-retired, only they're working him way more than he'd like to right now.
You know, when you're in demand, what are you going to do?
Hey, there
right?
you go. That's right. All right. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for coming.
We are on the QUINAULT Lodge Loop Trail. Travels deeply into the QUINAULT rainforest. I think this particular piece of land here is National Forest Service. And I've been walking for between 5 and 10 minutes, only to look down and see that my camera was on snapshot mode instead of on video mode. So sadly, all my brilliant comments and repartee coming up the steepest part of the trail are not recorded, but you get the pleasure of the sound of my voice from here on out. Very, very humid here. Feels very wet. One would expect that from a rainforest, but it's also true. Hey, I was born and raised here in the state of Washington. And this is my first time really thoroughly exploring the Olympic Peninsula. And I'm loving it. We are about a third of the way done with our hike. That's 0.6 miles of about a 1.5 mile hike. I'm getting tired. Can somebody call me an Uber? Okay, Papa, you're an Uber. Hey. Beautiful pools of water over here. I'd love to try fishing in them, but as I found out, just because a river or a creek has a spot that I think it's a no-brainer for fish to be in, there have been no fish. This is what's called the cedar bog. The ground is very marshy and wet. Cedar trees like that. You can see in the mist the great tall cedar trees. Well, sometimes when the trees fall across the trail, you cut them and you make a path. Sometimes you just go underneath them. We're going underneath this one. Sadly, in one respect, the maps for these walking trails aren't really the best, and I got a little bit turned around. Instead of about a 1 mile, 1.5 mile walk, I ended up with about a 5 mile walk. I'm just not in very good shape to do a 5 mile walk without some physical consequences. So I'm awfully tired right now. Well, I just ran into some fellow hikers going up the trail. I'm coming down. And they said that the lodge was down this way and not too far. So I'm hoping they're right. And as we come down the trail, come into a little improved area with some guardrails and a bench for old people like me to sit and relax for a few minutes. And a little sign that tells you a little bit about the forest. Let's see what this sign says. I had told my friend Paul that I would help him do some work on his place. We were supposed to meet at my RV about 2. Well, sadly I got lost up here. And I think it's way past 2. I'm so sorry, Paul. I'm so tired. I'm going to have to go back to the RV and take a nap. All right. Hello.
How's it going?
Hello.
Hello. How are you? What's your name? I'm Papa. See all this? That means I'm a Papa.
Papa.
Can you say your name is Addison?
Oh, ooh, I like that name. Bye, Addison.
Say bye.
Bye. Papa.
What? I'm a different Papa. I'm not your Papa. I'm someone else's Papa. Bye, Addison. Man, I hear the highway. I can see the highway. I hope this trail is going to the highway, or I'm climbing through the brush to get to the highway. I am ready for a big nap. My laugh isn't as hearty as it was earlier in the day. I'll tell you what. I'm tired. This is the Rainforest Nature Trail trailhead, and I started off at the QUINAULT Lodge trailhead. The trails intersect. So I walked about 5 miles so far, and it's about a mile back to my car. So I'm tired. I'll check in with you back at the RV.